Recording. Thank you, Max.
Gotcha.
Just for everyone that is joining early, this is being recorded, thanks to Max, and we will also be sending around the slides afterwards. So if there's anything you have questions about in the slides, am I going to get this afterwards? Absolutely, we'll share all this with you. Do you ever do banter before the webinar, Max?
Yeah, a little banter's good. We usually play some music. Get a little jingle going.
A little jingle. Oh, ooh, I'm already jumping the gun here. Oh, I'm doing it again. You early birds get to see that.
Oh, hey Sue. Miss you too.
Let's see.
Thanks for joining. Hey Casey.
Katie Drunken Miller. Hello, hello. There's a lot of familiar names in here. Rosemary, Rhonda, Nancy, Moira, Megan Gray. What do you say? Lisa, a whole bunch. Ooh, Laurent's here. The pressure's on now. Hey, Laurent, how are you? Okay. Well, we haven't officially started, but maybe just a few minutes after the start, we'll go. Maybe right at 1. Maybe we'll drop the poll a little bit early, Max.
Sure. Yeah.
Cool.
I was like, also, if people are in the chat, dropping in wherever they're calling from.
Yeah.
Always nice to see. There's a little 2, and it says all panelists, or like all attendees and panelists. So if you do attendees and panelists, you can shout out to where you are, who you are. I'm in Rhode Island. Where are you, JD?
I am. Oh, Anne Marie. How are you, Anne Marie? You're not chopped liver. Come on. I am in New York City, as I believe Nadia and Delaney and her team. You are back in North Carolina, I believe.
I'm back in Brooklyn, so here with you.
Back in Brooklyn. All right.
Yeah.
Brooklyn strong. All right. Well, excellent. Ooh, okay. Love it. All over the place. Who is the furthest away from a non-existent place? I don't see. Alberta, Canada. It's exciting. Christy. Awesome. Well, excellent. Well, people are starting to roll in here. This is fantastic. We have about 600 people joining us today, or that signed up. So really excited to be presenting on this. This is something we've been working on for the better part of 2020, really kind of nailing this down. So we're super excited to be talking about the partnership between ThankView and Givebutter to bring you ThankGiving, which surprisingly was not trademarked. So we do have the trademark now. So if anyone
don't call too much attention to it.
Yes. So as we get going here, I'm actually going to go ahead and launch. We have a poll. So as we kind of wait for people, where's my poll? Oh, is this not working now? Oh, it is. Sorry, is everyone seeing this poll? Are you seeing this poll?
Yeah, we see the poll.
Okay.
Well, we see the Zoom link. We see anyone pulling up the poll.
Okay. Is anyone? That's probably not what we want to see then. Yes, I want to see that poll. Huh. Okay. The poll did not save, so there will be no poll. Sorry, folks. All right. Well, we're about a minute in, and we have an hour, a packed hour here, so I definitely want to be able to kick things off quickly and kind of be able to get to everything in the time allotted. So if you have any questions or as we kind of begin here again, before we make our introductions, this is all being recorded and you will get the slides afterwards. So if you have any questions, all that will be provided to you. If you have any questions during it, there is a question and answer. There's a Q&A section. If you can drop your questions in there, that would be great, just because the chat, we got a lot of people kind of telling us where they're from. So if any questions, just drop them right into the Q&A. All right, so let's kick it off. Very excited to present again on ThankGiving, which is the product of a partnership between Givebutter and ThankView. So you might, if you're already a ThankView customer, good to see you. If you're a Givebutter customer, good to see you too. And hopefully everyone will be one very soon. So in way of introductions, I'm JD. I'm the CEO and co-founder here at ThankView. We're a personalized video platform utilized by nearly 1,300 organizations to help them thank donors, share impact stories, and a whole lot more through personalized video. We also have Max.
My name is Max. I am also a CEO and a co-founder of a different company called Givebutter. And I started the company, I believe, 4.5 years ago in my college dorm room, working with a lot of students and student groups on their fundraising campaigns. And we've expanded a lot, particularly in the last 2 years, to work with a ton of traditional nonprofits, schools, even some companies to do workplace giving. And couldn't be more excited to be here today. JD, I haven't gotten any work done all week. I've been so excited. So it's going to be great. I'm really looking forward to sharing what we've been working on for the last 4 months.
I don't know if anyone knows this reference, but there's that Disney commercial with a little kid. He's like, "I'm too excited to sleep."
Yeah.
That's been Max and I all week.
Yep.
Also joining us here on the panel, we have our Chief Customer Officer, Nadia Collins. So she's been kind enough to help kind of curate some of the questions and help answer some things as we go, as well as Delaney Strittmeyer, who is our Content Marketing Manager, who's here to help with all community content for ThankView. So excited to have them both here helping as well. So thank you for both you being here. Right off the bat, usually you save this sort of stuff for the end of a demo or a webinar, but a lot of times you're trying to get off and you got to go somewhere else. So if you see anything that you like, thankview.com/giving, that's where you can sign up to join the early adopters. I'm going to drop it right there in the chat just so everyone has it. Great. So just a little bookkeeping or housekeeping in order. I'd like to start off every webinar kind of reinforcing who we are and why we are. So this is ThankView's mission statement, and it is our mission to build lasting relationships, especially through video, on behalf of those who make the world a better place. So if you are on this call, congratulations, you are one of those people. We really appreciate the work and the hard work that you and your colleagues put in to helping raise funds for important causes. So thank you for that, and we're really excited to be a part of your story. So a few things about ThankView, if you're a little less aware of us. We're utilized in a lot of different times. Let's talk about giving days. So giving days, giving Tuesdays, things of that nature. That's a huge use case for our for our personalized video platform. In this example, we have Miami University. They've been a partner of ours for over 4 years. So you would think maybe, is the kind of newness wearing off, but they've been using us in tandem with their giving day for 4 years straight. And each year they've received over 75% in terms of open rates, with nearly 50% of their entire audience completing their videos. When we talk about videos, in this example here, you see 2,500 videos. Those were all personalized videos done the day of their giving day. So they were doing this without the advent of ThankGiving, but we're going to show you how you can do that even faster, no matter how large your organization. Talking about doing things in large volumes, we have here a case study from Northern Arizona. During COVID times, instead of making phone calls to donors, they decided to record over 30,000 personalized videos and send those out in a way of supporting their alumni and donors during that time. And we're able to do it with a really small staff. So think about this in really small uses, but also really large outreach. Both can be done with our personalized video platform. You're going to see some of that later. And then what we're really here for is bringing it down to the brass tacks. Can ThankView help us raise more money? Absolutely. So we have here a case study from Oregon State Athletics. They did a really tight A/B test between ThankView and their general email outreach. So you can see in these numbers, almost exactly the same in terms of delivered messages, but all the metrics were better on ThankView. And at the end of the day, they were able to raise 74% more using ThankView. So we know that ThankView can be really helpful in helping you raise money, but hey, who helps you raise money? I think that's where I'll pass it off. Let's see, my boy Max over here.
Whew, that was a nice toss, JD. Thank you. So I'm so excited for so many reasons, but probably the biggest reason I'm excited to be here and work with ThankView on this is because of our mission alignment. We say the same thing in a little bit more, few more words maybe here, but basically about making the world a better place to the people who make the world a better place. A big thing we talk about is eat, sleep, give. And what that means to us is that you do so many things in your lives, and giving should be one of those. So we say our mission is to inspire, educate, and equip people with the best tools possible to help them change the world. Our vision is to build a world where every person makes giving a part of their lives, to create fundraising technology that's transparent, powerful, and downright fun to use. And so with that, we get a lot of questions about our name, and I'll touch on that in a sec. But the idea is to help you do three things: help you raise more, pay less, and ultimately give better. And the last one is where our name comes from. So Givebutter really being a play on words to be a better way to give. And with that in mind, everything we do revolves around that concept, helping you raise more money from your supporters by delivering them an incredible giving experience end to end. And so I'm a visual person. I'm going to show you what that looks like through these in just a moment, but I want to kind of sort of explain the lay of the land and how Givebutter works. So we started off with this fundraise product, and actually over time we split it off into collect and events. And I'll explain what each one of those are. So collect is a simple payment form. It's an easy way to spin up a way to accept donations on your website or host it on Givebutter. Everything in collect works with fundraise, which is like a fundraising page or fundraising campaign product, which has things like team fundraising and supporter feed. And events is an excellent product for a fundraising event. So there's a lot of great products out there that help you run events. Events will help you raise more money from your event. And platform is sort of the underlying architecture that powers everything we do at Givebutter. And I'm going to show you what all these look like. So over here, we have a quick example of a collect campaign. We call everything a campaign, but it doesn't actually have to have a time limit. So you can see a little gold bar, theme colors to match my branding, different amounts that can be customized, recurring donations. And I'm going to show you actually how to set one of these up in just a moment. But this is just a simple payment or donation form. Lots of functionality that you can add or remove from it. Building on top of that, we have our fundraise campaign product, which makes it really easy for you to have a fundraising page, typically around a goal or a time frame, with things like a supporter feed. People can add GIFs and messages and drawings to show why they're supporting or interested in or care about the cause, and team members. So you can do team and peer-to-peer fundraising, where each one of these people can have their own page to ask supporters to contribute and share that out really easily through text message and social media, and credit an individual with their gift, as well as story section and other elements of the fundraising page. And lastly, we have events. And so everything you can do on fundraise, you can do on events, with the added benefit of things like tickets. Oop, I'm already on the next slide. I'm gonna refresh and you'll see the tickets. There they are, things like a promo code. You can do free tickets, paid tickets. But most importantly, when I choose that ticket amount, I can do things like add a donation on top of my ticket, or if I can't attend, I can still donate. So there's a lot of features like that built into our events product that make it really helpful for you to raise more money for your event. And lastly, we have live stream events. So this is a big iteration of the current climate, where you can have in-person events, we can do virtual events, and you can actually stream things like a Zoom call to YouTube Live and have that all hosted on a Givebutter campaign page with e-tickets. So quickly, I want to show you how easy it is to set something like this up, because you're seeing a lot of elements that might be confusing. Like, how does this all work? Do I have to code it? Do I have to build it? What do I have to do? Well, here's what your dashboard will look like as part of ThankGiving. It'll all be set up for you. Just walk right in and click New Campaign. I'm going to do an example, collect campaign. And that is literally all the work I have to do to generate a page that look just like the ones we were looking at. So I'm going to view it, and you'll see my logo and my name was already filled in, and my theme color is already there with amounts preset. You can actually just go through. And one of the biggest benefits that we'll talk a lot about today is the different payment methods that come as natively part of your Givebutter ThankGiving offering. And so that was how to set that up. And then I'll show you something like in the dashboard without having to write any code. I'm actually going to go in and just make a little custom amount. Let's say $10 for a care package. I'll go and I'll save that. I'll head back and I'll refresh. And there you see $10 now a care package. So there's so many little customizations you can make to this form, really intuitive through the dashboard. And that's how easy it is for you to actually go into Givebutter and set that up. So that's a quick overview of the Givebutter products and features. We might be wondering, so, I mentioned that we've been around for 4.5 years, and we started off with students and student groups. We're working with a lot more nonprofits and schools now. Really proud of the fact that this year our customers voted us #1 highest rated fundraising platform on G2, ahead of 223 other fundraising software platforms. Now, on the grid on the right, this is from G2. You'll see that we're not in the top right corner. That is because the very small font on the y-axis says market presence, and the x-axis says satisfaction. So we are the highest rated in terms of customer satisfaction. Of 115 reviews, we were rated about a 4.9 out of 5. We have the highest customer satisfaction, but we don't have the highest market presence because we don't have enough followers on things like Twitter and LinkedIn. So please follow us there, and we'll get that market presence boosted up a little bit Also, things like how old our company is will help us get more market presence. But really proud of that, and especially in the last 6 months to see that come to fruition. We're also a front runner for software advice, 5 stars on Capterra, a Stripe verified partner, and others. And just to close off this sort of Givebutter segment, I want to read a quote from this most recent case study from our amazing marketing team. Shout out to Rachel, who put this together. You can check out the link here after. But they said, I started to look for a platform that allows me to throw in PayPal or Venmo, something simple and easy that's very user-friendly, appealing, and that we could put a video on. We have alumni, and every year there's a grade. So we added a little friendly competition to help increase the amount of funds that we can bring in. And I'm really happy to say that they beat their goal. They raised $352,000 amongst 40 plus team fundraisers. And it's an amazing success story. There's a lot more. There's like 25 more we've done just in the last 6 months. So you can check out on our blog. So JD, we talked about ThankView, we talked about Givebutter, but what's ThankGiving?
Well, we're pulling the best from this world and the best from that world. We're bringing them together, and that marriage is what you have with ThankGiving. So with ThankGiving, we're really bringing both of those strengths together to be able to provide a way for you to create more personalized video appeals that drop you onto fundraising pages. And then once donations are made through your fundraising efforts, to be able to more seamlessly drag that donor data back into ThankView so you can more quickly thank your donors. So through this partnership, everything being under one roof, you're going to be able to raise more money, thank donors faster, and track your ROI better. And we think this is perfectly set for the time that we're in. And Max, tell some of the stats why we think that's so.
Absolutely. So we were already seeing trends happening with online fundraising that are just getting accelerated or are becoming 10 times more important now. We're seeing 93% of donors are covering fees voluntarily. And that is a trend that's already been happening. But now donors are more aware of fees than ever and appreciate the transparency when giving. Seeing 73% leaving messages. So when they donate, actually leaving a message of support and engaging. People want to give and engage more than ever, and having an environment or having a platform that encourages that is so important to making them feel heard. And lastly, we have 60% on giving on mobile and 35% using alternative payment methods like Venmo and PayPal and Apple Pay and Google Pay, meaning that donors really want to be able to give where they are, and enabling them to do so without them having to think about it or worry about it or ask about it is so important. And all of those things are things that you will get with ThankGiving. So really excited to just show you what that looks like in just a moment.
And now really hammering home the point, this is really the beauty of this partnership. This is what ThankGiving is all about. We're finally able to close that fundraising loop. So with this partnership, you're able to personalize video appeals that then drive you to fundraising pages, which have all the ways to gather and take donations so you raise more money. All that donor data goes right back into ThankView so you can thank your donors faster. And then with all of your metrics in a single dashboard, you're able to track your progress and analyze your results in one place so you can go back and start the cycle all over again. So this is really the beauty of ThankGiving. But Max, I don't know. Should we show it to him?
I don't know. Should we show? I think we should show it to them.
Let's show it to, okay, let's show it to them.
Let's see it. Let's see it. Okay.
All right. Great. So let me share my screen. There we go. So not everyone's going to be familiar with both platforms. So I'm going to kind of walk through the two things we're going to need. So in this case, of course, we need the ThankView account and you need a Givebutter account. So here on your ThankView account, this is where it's all going to start. First, we want to make sure that the accounts are linked. So we go to our settings, over to the integrations and APIs, and we see this little Givebutter module and it says status connected. So don't worry, our support team is here to help you get everything set up. So we just make sure that the two systems are talking to each other. Great. Now that we have that, for today's purposes, we're going to want to show how we can create those personalized video appeals that then drive and live on a fundraising page. And then any donor data or donations that get made get pushed back into ThankView so we can thank them. Again, you don't have to do both. You can decouple them. You can just create appeals to drive the fundraising pages or create fundraisers that then drive the donors back into ThankView. But I'm going to show you how we do both in this. So I'm going to start with this appeal campaign. In the campaign, with all ThankView campaigns, there's 5 simple steps. The first is adding our recipients. Of course, we can do that a few different ways. We can pull in spreadsheets from your CRM. You can add them manually, or you can choose from lists that you want to use over and over again. So I've got our donors in here. Now I'm going to jump straight to the landing page step. So here on the landing page, we are going to define what the end user is going to see on the landing page when they open up their ThankView. So you have the ability to add a call to action button, embed a form. Of course, the last one right here is linked to a ThankGiving campaign. So in this dropdown, these are all the campaigns that you have created in your Givebutter account. So you simply find the account or find the fundraiser you want to pair with this outreach. So you've gone ahead and done that. When I go to preview, we see for this donor, Generous Donor, wow, great name. We see the ThankView will play right there at the top of the feed. This is all unique. You've seen this as Max just showed it. You have your supporter feed there on the right side, and then you have all those different elements, the donate button, the progress bar, all the team members, your story. Everything is in line, so the two are completely paired together in one seamless execution. Moving on to the recording. With ThankView, what's really nice is this is where we really create that personalized touch. This is going to help you drive more donations and really get more out of your fundraising efforts. So here on the left side, these are all the people we're trying to reach out to make a donation. So what's nice about the platform is I can personalize every single person all the way down the list, or I could group people together, or I could send everyone the same video. Of course, for this example, I want to really personalize it because we know everyone's favorite word in the English language is their first name. So I'm going to go ahead and start with Generous Donor. Here I have the ability to go through my webcam or mobile phone. I can upload a video if I've already shot it, or you have an unlimited video library where you can create as much content or have content here to use over and over again. So you see I've created a few videos in the past and I have some other videos to choose from. Of course, I want to go ahead and do this live. So as I populate this, whoop, there we go. All right, so when I go to record, what's nice is I see who I'm recording for. Got my little 3, 2, 1. Hey Jen, it's JD here, and I am raising money for the dance marathon. I hope you can support me in my fantastic groovy moves. And if you can, go ahead and please press the donate button right down there. Jen, I can really use your support because I'm going to be on the dance floor for 24 hours straight. So thanks in advance, and see you on the dance floor. Okay, so hopefully you can attain the same level of cheese that I am able to produce just naturally. So there we go. We've created that video. I could re-record if I screwed up, add some closed captions, trim the video, or go right on to the next person in my list. So you can see how fast you'd be able to roll down and create personalized outreach to everyone on your list there. I'm gonna go ahead, for the sake of time, jump over. And so now we have this video to send off to Generous Donor. So I can go ahead, I can schedule it for any time in the upcoming year, or I could send it right away. So boop, let's pretend I sent it. I'm gonna pull Julia Childs. I already have something in the oven. So that video gets sent via email to that recipient. Great. Now we jump over to the Givebutter account. So here in the Givebutter account, we now want to take that fundraiser and tie it to a ThankView campaign. So any donation data and donor data, if they make a donation within their Givebutter fundraiser, it gets pushed back into ThankView so we can thank them. So what we're gonna do is roll down to integrations, hop over here to ThankView, expand it. We see these fields have some content in them, so that means they are connected. And as I roll down, I'm gonna find my fundraiser, so support our fundraiser for Dance Marathon. Expand, there we go. And I'm gonna choose from the different ThankView campaigns, which one I wanna drive this data back into. So I'm gonna drive it back into ThankView, support the Dance Marathon. Great. So now everything is connected, all right? Now I'm gonna put myself in the shoes of Generous Donor. I know, just go with it. So here I am. Oh, look at that. Please support the Dance Marathon, Jen. So here I am. It says your friend is dancing to raise money for a generous cause. Make sure you keep it shaking with a little support from you, their good pal, Jen. Sure, I'll click that. So now those who are used to seeing it drive to a ThankView page, we see now the perfect marriage of the two here. Not gonna be able to hear too well on my headset. Click the donate button down below. Make sure you send the credit over to me because I am dancing for a good cause. And Jen, I know you're all about that. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you on the dance floor. So look at that. Personal appeal. I got to go ahead and click that, clickety-clack that donate button. I'm going to go ahead and give $500. I can even choose the fund that I want to give it to. In this case, I'm going to give it to the cause of greatest need. Let's drop the general fund there. And I'm going to give credit. I know I should be giving it back to JD, but I'm going to give it to Candy Cane. And this process is really fun. So as you go through, this is where you can add that extra little something here. So I'm gonna say from Generous Donor, and I'm gonna say, get it girl, and then throw in a GIF, make it kind of fun, groovy, great. All right, now when it comes to the payment, this is super simple as well. As Max mentioned, you can pay in a multitude of different payment methods. I'm gonna use Google Pay. we can see my information's already in there. So all I got to do is drop my CBC, and wham, bam, thank you very much. There we go. We see now my donation has been made. I've hit that supporter wall. Fantastic, groovy, awesome. And now for the final piece of the puzzle, I head back to ThankView. And I see in my thank you campaign, well, you look at that. There's generous donor. As I roll over, I can see there's my last donation. So then I could jump right into ThankView and send them a personalized video back. What's also really great is there's different ways that you can deliver your video. So we used the GIF before. Maybe then I want to deliver it in this nice custom envelope that would be branded to your look and feel. So they're kind of getting two different experiences. And finally, to round this all out, within your metrics platform, which you already know and you love the performance metrics, we can now go right into our fundraiser. And here we're able to see all the stats that all the money we've been able to raise through our ThankView efforts. So here we can see total raised, number of donations from unique supporters, average donation, your success rate, and then a little bit more about the donors here. So there you have it, complete full circle. We have our metrics, we have our learnings. Let's go back and let's do it even better again the next time. Passing it back to Max.
Awesome.
So,
JD, we did that demo maybe how many times? And that was probably the best one I've seen.
yeah, yeah, it's good. That's the best one.
Well done.
Thank you. Well, you know, we want to continue to kind of hammer home why we think that this partnership is so important. And I'm really, you know, again, glad to be joined by Nadia and Delaney and we, you know, a lot of our team here. Because with ThankView, what's really great is it's one contract, it's one support team. You don't, if you're already a partner of ThankViews, you're not going through some laborious procurement process or creating new vendor forms, anything of that nature. And if you already know and love the support you're getting with ThankView, that's going to be the same team that's going to be helping you every step of the way. So it's going to be as though nothing has changed, and you'll just have that extra utility to your ThankView experience through ThankGiving.
Another big benefit is the ability to give with Venmo or Apple Pay. You could also add Google Pay and PayPal there. Those payment methods make it so easy to give, where it's not just about the nativity of the options where you already have it on your phone or your browser and you can give in a way that you feel comfortable with, but it's so easy and it already captures a lot of the information. So I saw a question about Venmo. We'll ask questions. We'll answer questions at the end, but I'll just get that one now. Is we Givebutter can make it so that you can actually capture that donor information even if they're linking their Venmo account. So they actually get kicked out to Venmo, they authorize it, it kicks them back, and they can complete the donation. And you can ask for any information that you want or need using it. And it's done through the Venmo API. So you don't actually need a Venmo account. That's a huge benefit of the ThankGiving offering.
Again, at the sake of belaboring the point, you can close the loop and keep track of giving. So again, you know, in my scenario, we just showed you, we showed how you went from an appeal to the fundraising page, to the thank you, to the tracking. All that can be done with our platform or any 2 steps along the way.
And we've learned in our 4.5 years at Givebutter that the #1 reason, and we've seen this in many studies, that is the #1 reason why many people donate is because someone they know asked them to. And so not only are you able to pair a personal appeal, ask, solicitation from ThankView, but you can also pair that with team and peer-to-peer fundraising to really personalize it when you land on that page and enable those team fundraisers to share on social media, via text, via email, however they're comfortable with, and land them on a page that's personalized. It's not generic. It's not saying just make a general donation to this form. It's really personalized to them and why they care and why and what their story is.
And I'll say we have a question there that I think is worth mentioning in this step. ThankGiving also supports recurring gifts. So even through those fundraisers, it can be made recurring.
Absolutely.
So just a touch to kind of build on the first 2 elements of why ThankGiving is so great. One is, again, that one contract, one support team. Many of you may be familiar with some of these shining faces. You might be familiar with their names because you see it in your email all the time. But these are 6 of the 14 and counting. And this is Nadia's team. She's done a fantastic job of assembling some really fantastic customer success managers, as well as support and associates. And we're really here to help you through every step of the way. So again, when you sign up with this service, you're not just getting a technology platform, you're also getting the support along with it.
And as I mentioned at the beginning, to hammer this one home as well, we're seeing as many as 40% of donors choosing to give with an alternative payment method, or what we call a digital wallet, Venmo, PayPal, Apple Pay, Google Pay, and offering those out of the gate without you needing a merchant relationship with those different vendors is so powerful for you to be able to just turn that on from day one.
It's really amazing. I mean, you saw I was able to give through, again, very few clicks and make a $500 donation. It was amazing.
And it's so important too, because when you think about engaging young alumni specifically and the average donor age of your organization, and as it's going up, how are you thinking about engaging those young alumni? And one thing I actually didn't get to in my demo portion is something called a giving hub, which we'll talk a little bit more about in a minute, is the ability to show all these different ThankGiving campaigns and fundraisers in one place. So you can have a central hub for all your fundraising activity to enable alumni to head here and support causes or specific projects that might mean the most to them because they were a part of that organization or a part of that student group, and they can see that all in one place.
Max, do you want to show what the Giving Hub looks like? That kind of lends nicely to the
Sure,
next step as well.
Sure do. So let me see if I have. So this is the ThankView collect campaign I made, and I can just actually click the name up here. We've already set up your custom subdomain with your branding and everything to land me on this page that is totally powered by ThankGiving with the Giving Hub. So the default is a more standard landing page, as it's very simple, just lists your campaigns in a row. This is a full microsite. So on your subdomain, you can house all of the different fundraising activity and campaigns, customize the stats bar with your branding and your theme colors and the amounts that you see, and most importantly, the different fundraisers. We have a landing page that will just show all the fundraisers in one place so that you can show those, people can view them, contribute directly to them, and you can even set up chapters like departments. So we're not going to get too into the weeds on that one, but it is very functional in your ability to house and show all the different fundraising activity that you're doing through a central, what we call a giving hub.
And what's great about that is that really hammers home that this can be a fully branded experience. So to the donor, to the recipient, they're seeing one fluid experience. So if you do have that custom branding with ThankView, we're already able to take those assets and then be able to replicate them over on your Givebutter account. So again, it's just seamless. It goes from one platform to the next, and the recipient is none the wiser that there's any difference between the two. So you can have that fully branded experience, which is absolutely fantastic. Even the subdomain and domains, I think, is a real leg up.
Yeah, I also emphasize that we put ThankView on the ThankView subdomain, but this could be your nonprofit. This could be your university name. So this would be, redcross.org or whatever was there would be give.redcross.org or nonprofit.org. So it's not necessarily a ThankView or a Givebutter URL. It's just your domain. And so, JD, you want to touch on the branded pages? Which you did. You already covered it. You're ahead of it. And so one thing I showed, you may have seen, is the fees. I think that this is something we wanted to be emphasized, because a lot of the fundraising space, and when people think about donating, they wonder, where is my donation going, and how much of this $100 donation is actually going through. Donors are more aware of fees than ever before. And being transparent, not just with you considering using a fundraising platform, but with your donors who are considering donating. We really preach that, but we don't just preach it. We give you full control. So Givebutter actually has a feature where donors can tip the Givebutter platform. And by enabling that, you would receive a platform fee of 0%. So it's a pretty innovative feature that doesn't make sense for every organization, but it's a really compelling thing to be able to say, on a given campaign, you can actually reduce your platform fee overhead to 0% and provide complete transparency to your donor. If you would prefer to turn that off, we have very low transaction fees and platform fees that we'll talk about in a minute, but want to just emphasize that you're in the driver's seat. You can turn things on or off. You can show fees, hide fees, require fees. It's really up to you.
And that's really, even after you sign up, after the fact, you can just be toggling that on and off.
Exactly. Yep.
It's great. And, as with this being a mobile world, being mobile first in terms of design for the experience of the user, mobile, it's never been easier to give through mobile. As little as 3 clicks. What was the phrase you used?
I think 1, 2, 3 Face ID was the.
There you go.
That's how fast you can donate on Apple Pay on your phone.
Or the old Tootsie Roll adage, the one.
Oh, a one?
Two.
Face
ID. There you go. That's the catchphrase. We'll make T-shirts after this, everyone. We'll be sending them out.
I'll wear that. I'll wear that on the next one.
And so, thinking about, yes, here's the utility, but really kind of, grounding it in use cases. So these are just 4 of the many use cases in which this partnership makes a lot of sense with ThankGiving. Obviously, on your giving days, you're able to raise more money if you're able to create more personalized appeals, reaching out, and then be able to thank those donors faster. I use the example, I don't know if Charlotte's on here, but Charlotte joined us from Miami University. Again, they've been doing it for years, 2,500 videos in a day, but there's still that upload and download process. With ThankGiving, that's totally gone, and you can more easily and seamlessly thank those donors. Speaking about raising more money, as Max so eloquently put it, the main reason people give is because someone they know asked them to. So this makes peer-to-peer fundraising super easy, both from the perspective of creating those, the outreach to encourage them to give, and then obviously to thank those donors. And again, this is really great for alumni engagement because they are faces that they're used to seeing from voices they're used to hearing. Events, Max touched on that. We're really kind of focusing on the more conventional fundraising, but certainly events, ticketed and otherwise, digital and otherwise, especially the virtual, the ability to host virtual events is really fantastic. And then we'll couple that with, personalized outreach for those who attend afterwards, kind of sending some personalized thank yous after, or those who didn't attend to encourage them to come to your next event. That's a great use case. And then sadly, but realistically, there's a lot of need for student emergency funds these days. So we've seen in examples, Georgia State being a client, they were able to do a lot of outreach with student callers, making them into thank viewers and appealing directly to the donors to help support a student emergency fund. But of course, this was before you were pairing the 2 things together. So with this partnership, partners like that could be raising and seeing even more greater outcomes from their efforts.
Definitely. It's really incredible the number of use cases. We've highlighted a few here, but I'm really excited to see what you all make of it. It's really amazing, the number of things we can do. So when you think about modernizing your fundraising, you have a couple options, and I want to here highlight what makes ThankGiving so unique. Because when you think about fundraising and when you think about donor engagement, you may think of those as almost 2 different things. Where do they land and where do they become engaged? The beauty of ThankGiving is that that's all in one place. And the thing that JD keeps emphasizing about closing the loop is so real. The thing I want to highlight specifically this wrote here about conversion tracking, the ability for you to not only send out that video solicitation, have them with a personal appeal, but then see how effective is that versus a different type of solicitation or appeal, and close the loop to have a conversion metric for each one of those on an aggregate and an individual level is going to be really exciting for you all to tie the initial outbound and outreach to the thank you at the end of it. So all of those things come as part of what we do at ThankGiving with ThankGiving. And not only is it about peer-to-peer and giving days and virtual events, which have a lot of different features that are really exciting, but it's when you kind of pair all of that with everything else that ThankView and Givebutter is doing that you really get the magic of all of this in one single place. So you're probably wondering, how much does this cost? How can I get started? Well, we're really, really excited to be able to offer this to you all at 3 different levels. The one I'm going to start with and explain is the $4,400 a year ThankGiving Pro offering. I'll say that every one of these tiers include everything you saw today in terms of the full integration. So you'll be able to take your the initial appeal, land that on a Givebutter fundraising page, and then have that data transfer back to ThankView for you to then send a thank you after. You don't have to do both, but you have the option to do both with everything that the ThankGiving integration has to offer. In addition to that, you'll have the full, incredible ThankView support and success team behind your back to help you set up the integration, your first initial campaigns so that you're able to link it, and you'll have ongoing integration support should you need anything at all. So you'll be able to not only have the integration, but you'll have a team there to help you. You may have seen JD flying around with all the different things on his demo. You'll have a team there to help you do that as well. The 3 main offerings, collect, fundraise, and events that I showed, have different fees, transaction fees associated with them. I did mention that you can have a 0% platform fee if you have tips on, but if you don't, this is what the platform fees would be. Donors can cover these on a per transaction basis, and over 93% do to offset that. And then with Pro, you also get the benefits of custom branded emails and first access to beta features. I'll just jump back to the integration to say anyone on this call who's an existing Givebutter customer, if you already have a Givebutter Pro or Premium and you're a ThankView customer, you can add the integration itself without having to subscribe to ThankGiving Pro or ThankGiving Premium. You would have all your typical benefits of Givebutter Pro or Premium included, and you can just contact your ThankView team, or we can put you in touch to upgrade the integration only. ThankGiving Premium is the whole shebang. So you get everything, including first access to beta features and custom branded emails, but also branded pages and branded domains. So you don't even necessarily know that Givebutter is there. It's just the full white labeled experience that you, or ThankGiving or ThankView is there, that you are used to and you would want, that your supporters see your brand, your organization at the forefront. In addition to that, we are also including quarterly campaign planning workshops and the Giving Hub. So Giving Hub is typically a $500 a year addition. We're including that as part of ThankGiving Premium as well. Last thing here, everything includes the integration. So I just want to emphasize that. If you are using ThankGiving Pro or Premium, the integration cost is baked in. So you don't have to pay for that as well.
Now, Max, this is good. It's good, but I think we can make it better.
Oh yeah, you do?
We can make it better?
You think so? I think so.
Oh, there we go. Yes. So we recognize that this is, this is something new, and obviously many people are already having efforts where they're fundraising elsewhere. We really want to make this accessible to anyone that is interested in trying this, because I think once you really start, you try one thing with us, you're going to want to start migrating all of your fundraising efforts over into the ThankGiving partnership. So for the rest of the year, through the end of the year, we're going to make the integration cost $1,000 and be able to also offer lower rates for both the Pro and the Premium. In this, we recognize that you'll be amongst the first to help us grow this partnership, to be able to give us constructive feedback, but also tried and true, the ThankView platform. I know there's a question in here, and I'd love to give someone a voice to answer it for us. But for those who are partners of ThankView, you're going to continue to see the great service and the reliability that you get from us. And if you've already using Givebutter, you're going to see that your fundraising efforts are already being improved through all the features and things they have. So bringing these two together, we've worked really hard to make the process seamless and very effective. So we're really excited to be able to offer it at this rate.
So we have definitely been getting questions, and I know we're really excited to answer them. We anticipated a few, and so I'm just gonna throw one your way, JD. Yeah, Do I have to create a appeal video and a thank you video for every fundraiser, or can I do one or the other?
Yeah, you don't have to do both. In the example that I showed, I wanted to show both just to show how you could push an appeal to a fundraiser page, and then from a fundraiser page, put the data back into ThankView. But you can do one or the other. So let's say you just want to create that personalized appeal to drive them to one of the various giving pages. You can just do that. If you just want to drive all the donor data that comes from a dance marathon in our example, drive it back into ThankView so you can thank them instantaneously, you can do that. So decoupling them is definitely an option. Now, Max, I have a few questions for you. Can we use our own payment processor?
So great question, JD. I'm so happy that you asked that. Essentially, Givebutter is built on top of two of the largest payment processors in the world. Those are PayPal and Stripe. That's what enables us to offer you the integration with Venmo, which is owned actually by PayPal. Technically, it's owned by Braintree, which is owned by PayPal. So that enables us to offer Venmo. It also enables us to offer PayPal itself as a payment method. And then you can have Apple Pay and Google Pay included in your offerings to your supporters. Now, Givebutter works with those platforms, and if you have questions about the processors themselves, those would be the resources we point you to, since that's what we are built on top of. And we make it really easy, again, for you to have all of those available to you through a single withdrawal and payout process, and all of the banking aspects of that is handled through Stripe. So you cannot use your own payment processor with Givebutter at this time. However, it's at the trade-off, if you will, of offering all this added functionality, and there's no reason why the two, as far as Givebutter and ThankGiving is concerned, can't exist in tandem.
All right, well, I've got another question for you. Can I integrate the donation data with my CRM?
Another great question. So Givebutter and ThankGiving and ThankView have a number of options available. I'll highlight the 4 available to you for Givebutter's data as part of ThankGiving. You have 4 options. So the first is a export option, so a manual integration. We make it really easy for you to export, filter, and export any data in the Givebutter platform and put that into your CRM. It's a great option, especially as you're just getting started. We have another, the second option would be an integration with Zapier. Zapier integrates with thousands of apps like Givebutter. And if your CRM is on Zapier, you can put those 2 together seamlessly without writing any code through that integration. The third would be an API level integration. So with Givebutter, we're really proud to have an open API. So any developer could go in and access the endpoints. You have access to an API key through your dashboard, and you can build your own custom integrations. And the fourth is we work with a number of third-party organizations like Omatic to make it easy for you to take those exports and import them seamlessly into things like Blackbaud and Salesforce. And so no matter what CRM you're using, there are a lot of options available to you to get that data in.
I should say ThankView, the ThankView platform has the same capabilities minus Zapier, which we are working towards. So again, be able to kind of work seamlessly with the platforms you're already using.
So JD, I am so pumped. I'm ready to go. How long until I can get started with ThankGiving?
Yeah, it's super simple, Max. If you're already a ThankView client and you have all that custom branding, we're going to already have all those assets. So we can already help you add those assets to your Givebutter account, which is super simple. And again, once they're set there once, it'll populate for every new campaign you create, and then you can edit thereafter. The biggest thing is tying your bank accounts. And all that is really is dropping a routing number into your account. So however long that takes for the approval to do that, that's really it. It's a very quick and simple process, especially if you already have an existing relationship with ThankView. We can get you up and running exceedingly quick. And if I've missed anything or is a better elaboration from Nadia, I will, I don't know.
No, I think, again, it's more about how fast you and your teams can move. And then our customer success resources, if you are an existing ThankView client, will work with you on building out that first campaign on the Givebutter platform and make sure that everything else as the integration is set up so that we can get that first campaign connected and going.
Excellent. Thank you, Nadia. All right, Max, back to you. Can I run multiple campaigns at the same time?
Absolutely. And if you'd like to, you're encouraged to, you can have unlimited, I don't know the actual maximum number of simultaneous campaigns that's ever happened on Givebutter from one account. We did have like 250 actually with the media association happening all at the same time. So that was really cool. But point is, you can have as many campaigns at the same time as you would like. You can have multiple forums, events, fundraising campaigns all happening simultaneously, and tie them to any ThankView campaigns accordingly, and vice versa. So no limits on that, and your pricing is not affected by the number of campaigns that you're running.
Awesome. And then one last question for you. How do your virtual events work?
Yeah, so the virtual events are new and super exciting. We've seen so many different use cases for them. They're typically either a private event that's hosted on Zoom, or it's a public event that will maybe use Zoom, but actually they take that and broadcast it to Twitch, Vimeo, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and you can host that live stream directly on a Givebutter page. And the beauty of that is that everything I showed you about our fundraising event product, selling tickets, even things like text to donate, scan to give, and the different aspects of donation upsells that you can do with a ticket purchase are all included as part of your virtual event offering, where you can take, so the venue, instead of a physical in-person venue, just becomes a digital venue. And the question becomes, where are we hosting our virtual event? Well, you can host that privately, or you can actually host it right on Givebutter. You say, head to our Givebutter page to join the stream, and you can actually donate with the live supporter feed, donations coming in real time, and see those messages and have a really engaging video plus donation experience. So really innovative, really exciting, and fun to see so many different use cases for that. Anyone who wants to get inspired, check out our case studies page for a lot of different aspects and ways to use, whether that's a 24-hour live stream or a 30-minute live stream. It's been really interesting to see the different ways people are running virtual events.
Awesome. Well, if you want next slide. Again, I said I'd show it to you twice. If you're interested in learning more, you can go up and sign up for ThankGiving on our page, thankview.com/giving. If you're already a current ThankView user, reach out to your success manager. They can help you with all the next steps. And again, really kind of sorting out what this will be and how this looks for you. And now, oh, dun, 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 finally, two pals at last, Mr. Butter and Uni the Unicorn. And now for your questions. And thank you to the panelists who have been helping answer these questions. As we're going, I should also mention any questions that get asked, we'll go, Max, I can stay here to answer all questions if everyone wants to stay. We'll also be sending the responses to these questions afterwards. So if you had a question, you didn't get it answered, we will send that along with a recap.
Definitely. No, I don't need to, I definitely don't book anything right after my hour-long webinar. So I'm happy to stay as long as we want.
Great. So I think starting at the top, Mindy Townsend's what payment processors gateways does this integrate with? Again, I think you answered that pretty succinctly. You are the payment processor.
Yeah, and also just, I can't see the Q&A. So if you or Nadia or anyone wants to queue them up, I'm happy to just go with the flow.
Sure.
Yeah, we are working on, we have an outstanding, so we have a really amazing community portal at Givebutter. I'm sharing my screen, so why not just quickly show it. It's called community.givebutter.com. We're not just transparent about fees, we try to really be transparent about our roadmap. And so you'll be able to see things that we're working on in real time and be updated on those things. And so that's a great feature request. That's somewhere in here. If I search feature requests and I search payment, I think we have an authorized ability to connect an existing payment processor. So we have a feature request that's built for that. Thanks, Tori, for creating it. And you can actually subscribe to updates in real time as we work on features like this. So it's not currently possible to link an existing payment processor, but we're exploring it. And if you subscribe to this in our community portal, then you'll be updated as soon as we have updates.
Great. The next question is from Mandy Moody. Are the videos recorded by staff or by fundraisers? So Mandy, it really is up to you. So with ThankView, it's really great. Actually, if I'm able to share my screen, if I may.
Over to you.
All right. Thank you, sir. So it's really nice with ThankView is you can give access to the platform to whomever you want to have access to. What's also great is you have the ability to request videos. So, sometimes it might be coming from supporters or staff, but maybe you want to go ahead and collect something from students. So I'll go ahead, I'll create a campaign here. I'm able to go in, ask a question. What is your favorite color? Hard-hitting questions here. And then just like that, I'm able to generate a page, which then is able to go ahead and collect that content. So I see that the question is here. I can record a video. Tell you that my favorite color is green. So just like that, I'm able to submit videos back into ThankView and they drop right into my library. There we go. So to answer your question in a kind of roundabout way, you're able to do it directly through the platform with whomever you want to have access to it, or use a video request to collect videos from whomever you want to collect videos from. All right, next question. When you send volunteers a list of people to record videos for, can you include a specific dollar amount you want them to ask for? Absolutely. So jumping back into here, showing this off. Let me go into appeals. So when you're importing data, especially if you're pulling it from your CRM, you can pull them a lot of different data here. So you can see we can pull in an ask amount, the last donation, that's what's populating when someone makes a donation through Givebutter, their designation, number of years giving, all that can be pulled in. Then when you get to the recording page, you can actually choose to populate that information above the video. So when I go here, I'm asking Mark Cuban for $1,000, whereas I'm asking Lori Grenier, Shark Tank fans know these names, I'm asking her for $15,000. So it's really easy to pull that information in through a CSV or a manual upload.
I don't think you're asking Mark for enough money.
I know. Listen, we're starting small. We're going to build. It's a process.
Right. Plant the seed.
Next question is, how does this work with the Bloomerang integration? And that's a question for you, Max.
Yeah. So we've launched a partnership with Bloomerang in the beginning of this year. It's been amazing, and you can seamlessly integrate all your donation data into the Bloomerang CRM through our native integration with Bloomerang as well. So it's actually a really amazing ecosystem we've created here, where you can take the best-in-class donor stewardship through ThankView, pair that with the best-in-class fundraising experience for Givebutter, and then in the back end, you can have all that data in the Bloomerang CRM for you to continue to build that relationship and steward that donor. So the integration gets set up through Givebutter, the ThankGiving dashboard, where you would enter that API key information. And similarly, you could reach out to Bloomerang to help set that up, and they will work with you to get that integration going. And then a member of the Givebutter success team will help you with any integration questions that you might have in getting that going.
Fantastic. Next question from Sarah. Have any schools used this for Day of Giving? Not yet. This is brand new, right? Hot off the presses. Obviously, schools have used ThankView for their giving days now, almost 5 years straight. So we have a lot of different case studies and things we can show you there. You can jump over to our platform to see some of those. Also, are you offering any discounted rates? I think this question was asked before we got to the final page. So Sarah, hopefully that was answered for you. Absolutely. We got some great rates here for you. Next question is from Casey. How easily can this data integrate into our already existing CMS? So if it's CMS, your content management system, in terms of like your WordPress, things of that nature.
So yeah, you could embed the Givebutter forms, the ThankGiving forms, into any website. So WordPress, Squarespace, Wix, all of those we provide a snippet of code you can drop on to a website. I don't know if that's quite what you're asking in terms of the CMS, but you can also use the API and use Zapier to pull data out, transaction level data, to then populate it in your CMS, which is an interesting use case. But that most likely might be a CRM question, which I know we addressed. But Casey, if you have any follow-ups on that, more than happy to dig in.
Sure. Lisa asks, can you also demonstrate Bloomerang in integration with if and how the thanking video would show up on a donor timeline? So right now, Lisa, we are also, obviously, we've started, spent a lot of time on the kind of partnership here with Max and the Bloomerang, or the Givebutter team. We are also working to be able to drive that content and be able to have that live within your Bloomerang account as well. Max, I don't know if you want to build on this.
Yeah, I could show, I think I could describe. So I know that we are recording basic interaction fields in the Bloomerang timeline. So Givebutter sends a receipt automatically after a contribution, which you would appear in your Bloomerang relationship timeline. You wouldn't see like a thank you email send in the timeline, but that's certainly something that, and as we're improving the Bloomerang just released a V2 of their API, and in the next 6 months, we're working on migrating to that. I know ThankView and Bloomerang are also working together, so I would definitely anticipate more improvements with that relationship, but you would see a good level of data for the donation interactions with Bloomerang, Lisa, but that's a great question, and excited to continue to improve that.
Yeah, so on to Julie Cron. Hey, Julie. In the example JD walked through, did I see right that there were $30 service fees with his donation of $500? What are those fees? Do they vary depending on the donor credit card? Again, I think we probably touched on this, Julie, in terms of the different platform costs plus the transaction cost. But Max, did you want to speak to that?
Yeah, so sorry, sometimes you process slow and you got to read and you got to like think, okay,
that's okay.
Julie, what do you, it's a good question. So they don't vary based on payment method. The fees are consistent for every payment method. So Venmo, despite having 0% fees if you have a bank account linked, since we're using their API, the Venmo API, they charge the same 2.9% and 30-cent rate for processing fees as Stripe and PayPal do. So we don't have any flexibility on the processing fees. That's just what's charged by Venmo for us to use their API, regardless of what the account is linked for the donor. But you'll see standardized processing fees regardless of payment method. We are looking into offering ACH, which would have potentially a different fee, but that's in the works. Otherwise, currently it's all 2.9%, 30 cents.
And I just want to jump out of there back into the notes. Vicky had asked, for attendees who already use ThankView and or Givebutter, would love to hear what your experience has been. And I'm just going to shout out a few. Thank you so much for the very kind remarks for people. Dun, 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 dun. We got Mandy Moody. I'm a Givebutter plus Boomerang customer. It works seamlessly. Fantastic. And from Vicky at UMass Amherst is a ThankView client. And we love this platform and the customer service is stellar. Again, our platform is great. I think our customer service is even better. You know, we are a people company, so we really believe in that connection we can have with you. So thank you both for your kind words. And please feel free to drop any more kind of thoughts or opinions of the experience you've had with either company. Britton asks, can we see who actually opened our ThankView? Absolutely. So hopping over here. So in your metrics, this is going to show you all of your campaigns. So this is the one here. So it shows the total sends, opens, click through, and actually shows who starts watching it, who finishes, how many total views, average view completion, if you reply back, because there's also reply functionality, and you get these other data points too. Also, you're able to see where that person is watching, you know, from what locale, and then a bunch of other data about that user. If you have birthday data, you can see engagement by age group. Let me just jump over to something that has a little more data populated in it so I can show you what I mean. So here you're seeing a multitude of campaigns that we've sent. When it loads, there we go. So you see we sent about 130,000 thank yous out, and this is where you really start to see some deep insights about your audience. So where they are, how engaged they are, these are your engagement scores, what device they're watching on, the gender breakdown, their engagement by age group, and then all the stats as it relates to every single person on your team. All this data, as I mentioned, can be exported and pushed back into your CRM in a number of different ways. So thank you for that question. Katie asks, within ThankGiving, are events automatically an option within each campaign or a separate product?
So events are, yes, they're automatically an option. So the way we've set up Givebutter is you kind of have one account and you have access to every feature. So you don't have to worry about having maybe an events campaign offering, a fundraise offering, or a collect offering. It's all included. The only difference you'll experience is the fees per campaign type. And that means the transaction fees. So you'll see that when you look in your settings, there's the fee there, and also on our pricing page and also in the pricing slides here. So if you have any questions about that, definitely let us know. But other than that, you won't experience any different in terms of the ability or the availability of any events or fundraising or collect features.
Great question. Okay. Skyla asks, how will donations through Givebutter connect to our university's account and database? So again, I think this was probably another question asked before we got to how the CRM integration works. But again, there's a multiple different ways, Skyla, in which you can connect that data back into your database, which of course we'd be happy to help talk you through. Diane asks, is there a capability to conduct a raffle? I know this is a really big one, Max. And how does this integration transfer to a CR? Sorry,
So I'll take that. Yep.
Yeah, he also wants to know about the raffle.
Yeah, he's like, oh, where's the raffle? Where do I sign up? Yeah, so the raffle is an awesome feature that we currently handle outside of Givebutter for the most part. So if you are interested in that, you can still sell tickets, raffle tickets, and then do a random drawing outside of the Givebutter platform. So we definitely see the use case. It's awesome. And you can do it in a couple of different ways using our ticket and item selling functionality, but you don't necessarily, like, you can handle the sort of raffle drawing component outside of Givebutter. And yes, we already answered the sort of CRM integration question, so I will mark that as answered. Stephanie asks, is all of this info easily downloadable into a database, i.e. Razor's Edge? Also, what if we already have an event page with online auction ability? Is there still a benefit to using ThankGiving? So essentially, the information is absolutely downloadable into a database, and we have a bunch of export functionality with filtering and exports to do that for transactions, campaigns, payouts, any information you need to take out of Givebutter. You can pop it in anywhere else into a CSV. And the auction, it's great that you have an existing auction solution you're happy with. We're working on this as a new product. So if you're interested, we'd love to hear from you about your use case and if, maybe we could improve it. But if you are using an auction software, you could still use the ThankGiving integration for your forms, your events, your fundraisers, as well. So any other sort of online donation processing that you're doing outside of the auction could be a good fit for ThankGiving. Courtney asks about Givebutter. Can you make smaller buckets visible for the campaign where I want to track and show to donors how much has been raised by a specific designation? Example, have 5 designation buckets and want donors to see progress to goal, like the campaign progress thermometer. So we do have the ability to have account level designations appear on any individual campaign, and that data will transfer over into ThankView, the designation that they are contributing towards. We don't have the ability to show like progress towards a designation publicly. You could sort of like make those periodically, just sort of track progress and say, hey, we're this far to our goal, or this much has been contributed across multiple campaigns. Some folks also use campaigns like designations. So you can create a campaign for a fund or something like that. And then every campaign has an ability to have a thermometer on it. So a couple different ways you can do that, that use case, but that's a great question, Courtney. Stephanie asks, if we already have Givebutter, is this something you could add on through Givebutter? So if you're interested in adding this, you can certainly reach out to us, but we will put you in touch with ThankView's sales and success team. So we are, constantly working together and are more than happy to facilitate an introduction. But you can also reach out directly to your, if you don't already have ThankView, we have an interest form, and you can go to thankview.com/giving to fill that out. And if you already have ThankView, then you would just reach out to your customer success representative. An anonymous attendee asks, when asking volunteers to solicit donations for you, how do you get a list to them? Do they need to log in to something, or are you sending them to a list? Are you sending them a list directly somehow with info on each donor? And if so, is it secure? Maybe you cover this. It's great, but going so fast. Yeah, JD and I talk fast. So JD, I think you can take that one.
Yeah, so there's 2 different ways you can do this. Through the ThankView platform, as I just see here, you can make people users on the platform directly, so they can go right into a campaign, just as you saw here. And I'm just going to just go here. So on this campaign, you could give them direct access to the platform, and they would go in and record individual videos for every single person. Or you could use that video request functionality that I showed before, but there is another way to use that video request. So let's say I had specific people from whom I wanted to get specific videos back from. So here you have the ability to add specific recipients, as opposed to the other one, which is just a live link and anyone could send a video back. Here, let's say these are the people I want to record videos. When I get to the setup, what's nice is I can personalize the instructions. So here I can say, hi, person I want the video from's first name, please record a video for, and then you can drop in specific data. So in this case, if it's just one donor, I can say donor to thank, or you can create a field that has all the names of the people you want them to record for. So then that person receiving this request would hop into the same experience you saw before. They'd send one video in, send it, refresh, send another video, so on and so forth. And so you could create requests and get back dozens or hundreds of videos that way. So both ways you can do it. Give them direct access, send it this way. It's totally up to you.
All right, JD, we have another question, anonymous one, about can each of our team leaders do their own video for their team members? So I know it's a bit of a, you can definitely do that with the staff. Staff can create those videos, but we talked a little about landing them maybe on a team fundraising page. They can still choose, team fundraiser on that side. But would you add anything to that?
Yeah. I mean, again, it very much similar to this answer. So if you give them access to the platform, they can do it. You really can, or you can request the videos from them.
Awesome. Sue asked, is all coaching included year round on an unlimited basis?
So there is a level of support in terms of just that you get with ThankView and the support team. In terms of coaching, we're definitely we'll have times in which we do specific coaching, and then especially as we get closer to giving days and things of that nature, we'll likely bulk up the coaching as we get towards the Aprils and Novembers, the Giving Tuesdays. But Nadia, did you want to speak any further to this in terms of what expectations should be?
Yeah, sure. So we're actually trying to develop this a little further now, in a more programmatic way. But the way that we're building this out right now is effectively having, in addition to what Delaney's already doing from a webinar perspective that we have been doing in the past year, we also want to organize campaign planning workshops. And so we will reach out to our clients via their customer success resources and see who else is interested in joining campaign planning workshops for specific topics. So as we get closer to, the type of events that JD just called out, we will be reaching out to our clients and see where we have interest so that we can build most appropriate topics for that particular season.
There you go. Great answer. We have a question from Rhea. Will there be a second tip option on our forms to cover this integration? In addition to the existing Givebutter tip?
So we have actually had requests for a custom tip. So you can set your own tip amount. It could be greater, or separate from the Givebutter tip, which is kind of an interesting idea. But currently it's standardized. So we have a sort of standardized tip option, and you have a fee coverage option. So it's like transparent processing or platform fees, and then you have a tip option that's separate. Certainly would love to hear additional thoughts about a custom tip option, about what that would look like. So sort of tipping towards something else other than Givebutter as sort of a feature. But no, there's not a way to cover specifically the integration cost or something like that.
All right. Next question from Karen. We used you this past week, but we directed many of our gifts to our website to give our finance. As our finance fees are not as high as yours, many of our donors do not want to pay the 15% fees at checkout. Also, are you ever going to have an interface with AllTrue Blackbaud? When individuals gave on our website, it went seamlessly into AllTrue. And now we have to batch these gifts and re-enter them into AllTrue when using Givebutter.
Yeah, so thanks for the question, Karen. So you certainly should not be paying 15% fees. So, I'd love to find out a little bit more about what that's all about. But I do know that what can sometimes happen is donors may not be used to or experience, maybe they accidentally cover a fee that they didn't mean to. And so one or two bad experiences might sort of ruin that. But I in thousands and thousands of daily donations and transactions we're doing, we've tried to really refine that model of the way that the donation form is set up and the way that the fees are presented. But I completely understand if for a passive donation form, you were looking for a lower rate or something like that, or you're able to get that, then that might make more sense. But as far as the integration with Blackbaud goes, so Blackbaud makes it very difficult to integrate with directly, natively, automatically. And so we work with third parties like Omatic to facilitate that process so that you don't have to do as much manual work. They create a profile so that when you put that data into Blackbaud, it's already mapped very easily. So if you're interested in that, we can definitely put you in touch with Omatic to help facilitate a more seamless AllTrue Blackbaud integration.
Question from Christy. Oh, I'm sorry, Brian, I didn't see this. Can you elaborate on what beta features mean? Yeah,
so we don't have too many. In fact, our development team has been pumping through any beta features we had to make them available. What we define as a beta feature is a feature that's available in the back end, meaning we can enable it for you. So maybe like an example of that was multiple recurring donation amounts. So if you want monthly, quarterly, annual, recurring gift amounts, that was a beta feature before it was publicly available. And so we made that feature first available to our pro and premium customers who had access to beta features because it wasn't self-service in the dashboard. Like you couldn't go into the dashboard and turn that on. And so we periodically release features in beta before we make them go live. And as a pro or premium ThankGiving customer, you would have access to any new beta features which we release in our change log. So you'd see a beta feature, we say if you're pro or premium, ThankGiving or Givebutter, you can enable this. And that's usually like a month or two lag before that appears in your dashboard for anyone to use.
Excellent. Christy, I think we answered this, but what if we aren't already customers? How long is implementation? So from the ThankView side, we ask for about 2 weeks, although we are able to kind of get you up and running and kind of get some things set up ahead of time, even faster. And what that 2 weeks really allows us to do is request design assets from you to design some of the custom elements on your account. And then also to make sure that you can get you and your team into some training sessions, which we have twice weekly, and can even have more support than that. So we say about 2 weeks on the ThankView front. And then as we discussed, it's really about how fast you can move for the Givebutter side. If you're already a ThankView customer or you already have those assets, we can make sure that we transfer those over. Yeah, if you go with an option in which you have the full branding. And then again, it's just simple as adding your routing number and voila, you're off to the races. You can even, I believe, Max, start raising money before you put routing information in, correct?
Correct.
So even if it's taking you a bit of time, but you need to get your fundraiser up and running, you can do that even before you have the bank account to put the money into. Question from Anonymous. How do people who are not admin staff create multiple videos for a single campaign? Same thing, presuming most all are remote. So I think hopefully I answered this in a previous question, but you are able to give access to the platform to your admins and staff so they can go right into the tool and record, or you can use the video request feature to request those videos as well.
This one from Stephanie, I think we got live. If you're already a Givebutter customer and you're interested in ThankGiving and you're not already a ThankView customer, head over to the thankview.com/giving link and you can fill in the interest form and indicate that you're already a Givebutter customer and they'll reach out accordingly. All right. Mariah asks, are there special state requirements for raffles? If a state considers it gaming, additional approvals to do it via the internet. So in all likelihood, yes, that would be a case-by-case question. I wish I could answer that in more detail, but I definitely know that there are state requirements for hosting and running a raffle that I would definitely look into before running one. Yeah. Karen asks, please someone call me. We can definitely make that happen, Karen. Sure. If you are still here and want to let us know, yeah, I guess we'll have a ThankView member reach out. Mel, thanks. I joined late and missed a lot. Smiley face. Mel, no worries. You will get a recording and a slide deck and anything else you need if you just reach out. But we'll send that to everyone who is registered after this. And we have, I think, just one last question from Danielle. How does the subdomain fundraiser page integrate with a website, or does it? So the mapping process is essentially we provide you with a CNAME record to add to your DNS. It's very straightforward. Any whoever set up your initial website would be able to do it relatively quickly. I mean, I'm telling like 5 minutes or less. And once you put that into your DNS settings and add the custom domain to Givebutter or work with your ThankGiving rep to help you set that up or share that with them. I'm saying this in so many words, and I promise it's not as confusing as it sounds. I'm getting too technical. Essentially, it becomes completely hosted on your own website. So it's not like an embed. It's a fully native hosting experience. So like you enter the subdomain that you want to use on your website, you point that to Givebutter, and then it's connected. It's a very, very seamless process to do that.
Seems like we got one last one here from Anonymous. So would we be hosting a virtual event on Givebutter rather than Zoom, or somehow connect FB Stream to Givebutter?
So great question. If you, the long answer is actually, or short answer is you can do both or either. It's up to you. So you can have a private event where the details of the event, the Zoom link, are only shared if you purchase a ticket. So it's like restricted, and the only way that you get access to that Zoom link is if you buy a ticket. So it's private and hosted on Zoom. That's a common use case. Another common use case is the second question you asked, which is you actually go live on Facebook, and then you integrate that. You basically copy paste the link and put it in your Givebutter dashboard. And then the the Facebook Live stream would appear on your Givebutter page. So that's where it's hosted. It's not that hard, I promise. But the advanced version of this is you can actually take a Zoom call and go live on Facebook. There's a little setting you can enable where it says go live on Facebook. So you're on Zoom, go live on Facebook, and then you take the Facebook Live and you put it on Givebutter. And so we see a lot of folks doing that, where this is where they'd actually host the stream, push it to Facebook because that's where they're streaming it to, and then they take the stream link and host it on a Givebutter page. So lots of different ways to do it, like I was saying earlier, but that's short and long answer.
Whew. And somehow there are still 58 people holding on strong. So hopefully this has been helpful. I know I'm super excited, and thank you, Max and team and Nadia and Delaney and everyone in the chat and on the Givebutter side for helping answer questions. Really exciting. Again, if you are interested, I'm just going to keep on plugging this because why not? Shameless. Go over to thankview.com/giving, fill out the form. Our team will be in touch. We really want to make this accessible to everyone that's interested in it because we really think this is the future of fundraising, bringing the best tools that Givebutter has to offer on the market and mixing that with the best in stewardship and personalized outreach with ThankView. Just a marriage made in heaven. And as our little characters here, everyone is exceedingly excited. So thank you everyone for joining. Max, any final words?
No, I mean, yeah, again, shout out to everyone who's still on this call. That's awesome. And huge, thank you and just virtual high five to you, JD, and the whole ThankView team. I'm really excited about this partnership. We're just getting started. This is just the beginning, and I look forward to doing something like this in a few months with all the lessons we've learned and case studies and success stories. It's amazing the opportunities you can do with the pairing of the platforms, but honestly the pairing of our companies. I just think, like I said at the beginning, the mission alignment is there. Your team is awesome to work with, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to do it and excited to see where it goes.
And I want to also thank Nadia and Delaney. Again, Nadia's been in there furiously typing away, as is Tori, but Nadia, thank you so much.
You got it.
And Delaney, silent but strong.
There were a lot of questions. I hope that we were able to answer all of them. But yeah, I mean, we're again happy on the success side to answer any of our clients' questions, or anybody who's not yet a ThankView client. Also, the team's happy to answer those. So if you can just leave your details on the interest form, that would be super helpful.
And Robert, yes, you'll be getting a presentation. We're going to send everything out after this, probably the slides and the presentation, and then we'll follow up with the question and answer afterwards. But thanks again. Thank you, team. Thanks, Max. Thank you, everyone. Can't wait to make this a ThankGiving world. Eat a big turkey together pretty soon. All right.
Gobble, gobble.
Gobble, gobble. All right. Thanks, everyone. Take care. Happy, it feels like Friday now, but happy Tuesday.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a nap.
All right. See you, everyone.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.